In the Know for Tuesday, April 30, the final day of April 2024 and the 121st day of the year. There are 245 days remaining. Good morning, MB. Guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We'll have today's water cooler question. It will be your chance to win. And we'll maybe be one day closer to Derby 150. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. He is the five-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the two-time Silver Sow nominee. Covering every corner of the globe, London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Morgantown. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
Not too bad. Kind of watching it rain a little bit earlier, but I guess we need the rain showers. Hey, question to you. Have you heard of email apnea?
I've heard of emails and I've heard of sleep apnea.
Okay, we'll sort of put the two together. A lot of people unknowingly alter their breathing when emailing, taking short, shallow breaths or holding their breath altogether, which is a phenomenon dubbed email apnea. It's the problem with email apnea is that it can increase anxiety and it can mess with the brain in other ways too, such as clouding thinking and decision making. Any of the like messages that we ever get or emails that you have to field, are they ever anxiety inducing or apnea inducing?
No comment.
You never have to deal with any nonsense or anything, do you?
No comment.
Any ignorance of any kind or?
No comment.
Okay, you want me to move along?
No comment.
Okay, over there we say good morning. First Baptist Church. Morning, Humble Bumble.
Hey, how we doing?
Doing very well. How are you?
Doing good. I lost you there for a minute. When you came back, it was right in the middle of that Saturday Night Live Yukon Cornelius introduction. So I just love it.
Who am I? By the way, I want to be on the record. Earlier in the spring, I think you wore a fishing shirt to the show one day.
Okay.
So I got my fishing shirt out today. I thought maybe you wanted to go angling after the show today.
I don't know what that means, but that sounds
ready
great.
To go. I don't know where like all these Columbia shirts have these snaps and hooks and Velcro thing. I'm not sure what all these things are for.
I think you put minnows in
You put your minnows in your pocket?
in your front pocket.
All right.
I don't really know about the others.
Okay, will you look into it and get back with me?
Yeah, I'll Google it.
All right, good. I appreciate that. I need to set the scene for the weather real quick, and then I'll be right back to you. Morning clouds are going to give way to afternoon sun. We'll see rain exiting this morning. We look to remain dry for Thursday, highs in the 80s. Oaks Day, Friday, got a higher chance of rain and in the afternoon and evening. So the Oaks could be wet, but we should dry out by Derby time. I think rain moves out on Saturday morning. Today is 5-0 Tuesday, but it looks pretty good in Louisville. Clear tonight, low of 56. The Steamboat race is tomorrow. It's a high of 86. And then we can, if you're watching, you can see further into the forecast as we get into Derby 150 weekend. Dennis, I have a note here from show producers that say you want to talk about Mark Pope and his elation for the entire hour. I was handed a note. So
that is correct.
You have some strong thoughts on Mark Pope?
It was a pretty forceful note, if I do say so myself.
It's like the first thing I looked at this morning. I was like, okay, I see everything that's on the show. This is probably the most important. Let's just talk about Pope for the entire hour.
Okay, we'll take off. Go right ahead.
I love Pope.
Okay.
That's really my only thoughts
It's
about
gonna-
the whole
It's going to be hard to stretch that up into an hour if that's all you're going to give us.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe a podcast. Maybe we can edit this into a podcast. What do you think?
It's not really an exercise in brevity. It's typically using 15 words when 3 words might do, and you string that together enough times and you get an hour. And so you somehow...
No, it is exciting. It is exciting though with the assistant coaches, the whole field kind of coming together. I think there's one left, maybe to be hired, and then the consistent amount of news that we've had over the weekend about the signees. So the team is coming together too. Lots of news. He was on KSR yesterday for a bit. So I'm just super excited, and it's nowhere close to basketball season.
One of the things that he did mention, they were going to it's been a whirlwind the last, couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. So now that they have sort of got a foundation, most of the staff in place, and they have some roster additions, I think he's going to take a breather and assess where they are as of today, because it's been such a whirlwind that there's been so much dust kicked up. Kind of need to let a little bit settle, and then take some advice and reach out to people and maybe see where they need to go from here. So they're certainly not finished by any stretch of the imagination, but they are. It may not be the barrage of information over the next 72 hours that we've had in recent time, but names like Lamont Butler, Colin Chandler, Otega Owe, what I call him, the Oteganator or something. The name they gave on KSR yesterday. Amari Williams, Andrew Carr, and of course Kentucky's own Travis Perry.
And it sounds like you might be able to throw in Kobe Brea. There's been some scuttlebutt this morning that apparently there might have been a commitment. Cody Feger, the new assistant coach, he's been tweeting whenever an announcement went down, and just about 30 minutes ago he tweeted for a potential commitment, and it looks like it's Kobe Brea, who shot 49% from 3 last year at Dayton.
Yeah, so from up the road at Dayton. All right, well, we'll wait to hear maybe some official information on that. Some of the other headlines that we need to cover. Wait a minute, Dennis, you were going to go an hour on Mark Pope, so I'll sit back and wait.
Yeah, that sounds great. So what about this narrative, that they're not wanting to release information about, a rumor of a recruit or a visit or something, and everything's kind of top secret? Do you think that's a real thing that they're trying to do because we're so crazy as Kentucky fans?
Well, if the information is true that Jerry Jones and Chicken Man and all the other people in Arkansas are saying whoever they want will double whatever they're going to get, just for basically spite. Cal says he's not spiteful, but he's certainly got some cronies around him right now that seem a little bit spiteful, if you can believe that to be true. So you don't want them to know. That's where misdirection is key.
We should start floating Dennis's name out there. Have you heard about this Dennis Cook guy? He can play. He's got some eligibility maybe left, and then I heard Kentucky's going to offer him $500,000 and let Cal offer him $1 million, and you can go down to Arkansas.
As far as I'm aware, we collectively have 12 years eligibility left. So
I only have one.
Oh, you only have one remaining?
Because I didn't get the COVID year.
Those lacrosse years caught up with you. But hey, I've been wanting to meet him, right? I really want to meet this guy and get a picture with him, and I learned how to do that yesterday. What's the lowest amount I can donate with this club thing?
$25 a month, I think.
A month? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm out.
I think, though, from what I understand, you could theoretically do it for 2 months, and then as soon as you go to that, you can cancel it, so you'd have to pay $50.
Still.
So I do have a question, Dennis. Maybe you can help in regard to proper protocol, since you clearly know people in the clergy and in the ministry. Are we obligated to call Mark Your Holiness, or is that safe for
from that?
That's the Holy See only gets the Your Holiness? Or?
I jokingly say I have hope in Pope, but it's all in jest, obviously. But I'm just excited to get. I put on Twitter a few days ago. I'm just excited again to be excited about the school and putting together a group of individuals who are going to go hustle, lay it all out on the floor, fight for I think that's the type of team he's putting together, because that's the type of player that he was, and that's what he's talking about. And based off of the clips of the people that we're seeing, that's what I'm getting excited about. So it's just a fun time to be a fan again. So because I walked away from it quite a bit over the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, too much apathy for me. Okay, 40 44 and a half minutes.
Hey, listen.
What?
As if this is a challenge,
Is-
let's not do it because I mean I'll just continue to go.
is-
I think we can do it, and I think people will be more interested in Pope and maybe where he got his coffee this morning, what airport is he taking a kid to, the whole deal. We could keep this going.
Do you want to go to like the phone line, see if Bob from Jamestown, he's on the line? You could.
Hey, I got Ron Lemon's number. We can just
I do
see if
too.
he'll hop on with us.
Well, he's a little preoccupied right now, but
Is he on the pre-show?
I'm only taking calls. Dennis, you don't know how this works. I'm only taking calls from John Short.
oh yes.
So,
Okay, I love that. Oh man, that'd
Because-
be great, wouldn't it?
because I'm a great American.
He's a great
That's why.
American. He is.
How many biggins?
All of them, all the
Yeah,
big ones.
all
That's
of
how-
those.
We're getting all the big ones. All right. Senator Steve Meredith has announced nearly $17 million in roadway funding for Grayson County, including $15 million for the extension of the Thomason Byway, which is a project that's really goes back to 2018. It probably goes back before that because he knew eventually the byway would get extended. But this, in total, Meredith announced about $38 million in road funding for his district. And that's part of the state 2-year road plan, which was HB 266. The $15 million in general fund will be used to extend the Thomason Byway from the intersection of 259 toward 54 and go all the way around. Now, back during the Bevin administration, this got supposedly on the fast track, and then for various delays, some of it was COVID, some of it was other obstacles. A lot of the right-of-way work has been done in the South Main area, and they have done utilities relocation over in the 62 area for that to do some prep work, but they're getting closer to making that happening. That was the primary project in the state spending bill for Grayson County and Litchfield, except there are some dollars in there. It's about $2 million to address safety and turn movements along Wallace Avenue in Litchfield from the East Carroll Gibson Boulevard down to the Thomason Byway. So right there beside Owensboro Health Twin Lakes. As we add more things, as ECTC Litchfield gets bigger, and as we have more routing into City Park, et cetera, we're just going to see more traffic in that corridor.
And then isn't the future potential sportsplex going in that area too? The indoor, like
Possibly, yeah. Yeah. If that gets a lift, it certainly would be in that general area.
corridor, yeah.
Something else to remind you of: Thursday is the National Day of Prayer. It will be celebrated across the country, but in particular, as per usual, the Grayson County, I'll say the Grayson County Ministerial Association is the spearhead behind this, but no, Chester Schartzer for many years has kind of been the that Kevin Henderson is cooking a 5-course meal for everyone that he'll serve right after the event on Thursday. So say your prayers you don't get sick from Kevin's cooking.
I usually it's one of the highlights of it. You get your hot dog, get your hamburger, get your bag of chips.
Also this weekend, does he make the chips himself?
Don't know that he doesn't.
Wow. Also this weekend, in addition to it being Derby weekend, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation is having their 43rd National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend. They celebrated in Maryland, but this year they're also honoring 13 firefighters who died in the line of duty from Kentucky. So they're scattered out across Kentucky and none really close to us worth mentioning. But I think it's kind of neat that some of the fallen firefighters from Kentucky are being honored in a national celebration or a commemoration coming up on this weekend. Gas prices are declining for the first time since February. The nation's average price of gasoline has seen a weekly drop of 1.9 cents from a week ago to $3.63 nationally. I think I saw $3.25 yesterday in Litchfield, something in that range. The average Kentucky price is $3.38 per gallon. So, but Litchfield typically pacing a little bit below that. It'll come down to right about where it is, and then in time for the summer driving season, it'll jump back up. Although
Yep.
production does typically tick up this time of year too to kind of keep pace with demand. The amount of state fund. I was reading a story today from Bruce Schreiner with the AP in Louisville yesterday. A lot of state lawmakers. I think maybe the governor was there. Pumped into Louisville. And they were talking about this divide between Louisville and the rest of the state, and there's kind of a detachment between city and rural, and they're trying to make a case, and they're kind of coming together with some bipartisan ways of trying to make a case of the importance of Louisville to Kentucky's economy, even out in rural areas. And I kind of thought of it in this way. If you go back 15 years in Nashville looked completely different, and you could manage to go and walk the streets and not have a gaggle of bachelorette parties in your way every time you turned a corner. You did not see them peddling these vehicles up and down the road, these rolling bars, etc. Anyway, my point is Nashville commercially, from a skyline standpoint, from a hotel standpoint, from an entertainment standpoint, has just changed so much in the last 15 years. And it has had a big impact on Tennessee as a state. Now, Tennessee has Knoxville, another big town, but they also have Memphis on the other end of the state, which is an economic driver as well. But for Kentucky, yes, Bowling Green and Louisville and Bowling Green and Lexington and Owensboro and Covington are important, but Louisville is the economic driver for the state. So I thought it was an interesting parallel. What will Louisville look like in 15 years compared to what it does today, and what will it be doing for the Commonwealth? Be interesting to see. I saw a headline that an attorney general's opinion released yesterday addresses whether people on home incarceration can be arrested and charged with escape for violating a condition of their home incarceration. It comes at the request of a Jimmy Cantrell, who's the executive director of the ARCH program down in Ohio County. He was looking for clarification on if escape charges can be filed for someone who breaks the conditions of their home incarceration. That's kind of was the catalyst for this. I know that Dennis certainly knows the conditions of home incarceration. I was not familiar, but Dennis is obviously acutely aware of the conditions you can't break. They are working at approved employment or traveling directly to and from such employment, seeking employment, undergoing available medical, psychiatric, or mental health treatment or approved counseling and aftercare programs, attending an approved educational institution or program, attending a regularly scheduled religious service at a place of worship, or participating in an approved community work service program. Those are all the things that are permitted under home incarceration. Anything else is not allowed. I don't know why I'm preaching to the choir here, Dennis, but
Yeah, I mean,
McDonald's
is on my list. I don't know if that is it not on yours.
it's not on. I wouldn't know. It's
I'm
not
not
on this
employed
list
there.
that was
I'm just
provided.
saying lunch. So if that's not okay,
Do you go there on a regular schedule?
well,
And I know you bless the food before you eat, so that could be practicing some form of worship by doing that.
I like
So
this. I like this. Thank
think
you
I
for being
can-
my legal counsel.
I think I can shoehorn this in, but anything else that's not on there, you could be charged with escape. So I had no idea what the conditions of home incarceration were. But now we know. The Grayson County High School students have earned top honors at a statewide National History Day, and some are heading to a national competition. There's a story at K105.com, and it covers, I don't want to mention some of them and not be able to mention all of them, but it's worthy of looking into on National History Day. It's now in its 50th year, Grayson County High School in its 50th year. And you can read about that and those young people doing well. Softball and baseball were in action yesterday. Sam, quickly recap and then preview today.
Softball lost 8-3. Baseball won 12-2 against Butler. Baseball will play today at Butler County. That game will probably not start until about 7 o'clock because, long story short, when they built Butler County's field, they didn't take into account the sun, so the sun is in center field when it sets. So they have to wait until the sun sets to play the varsity game tonight. So we will probably start at about 7 o'clock. JV will play beforehand, which is usually how they do it during basketball, but this will be how they do it during baseball today. So coverage from Morgantown, 5K105 Digital Productions, probably around 7 o'clock.
Poor planning makes for poor performance. Is that what you're saying?
No comment.
Sam's doing a lot of no commenting.
Lots of no commenting today,
Lots of
except for when we
no
talked about
comment.
Pope.
Yeah, of course, he was full of comments then.
I've got comments on that.
I got to get to a break. We'll come back. We got plenty more on the way. Derby Need to Know. Derby 150 Need to Know information coming up here on In the Know.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues the Rogers Funeral Home legacy. A steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwell. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at rogerswatkins.com or experience the Rogers difference personally on Main Street in Clarkson.
Introducing Dr. Nathaniel Gastaldo, an experienced podiatrist specializing in foot and ankle conditions at Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center in Grayson County. Whether it's a painful injury or chronic condition of your feet or ankles, Dr. Gastaldo has the expertise to help you get back to a more comfortable stride. Schedule your appointment online by visiting owensborohealth.org/podiatry.
Yellowwood knows that a five-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For five-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Wendy's Cinnabon Pull-Apart is the new go-to breakfast treat that's sure to satisfy your sweet morning cravings. It's got all the bakery-inspired flavors you love from Cinnabon, like that sweet, warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough, the perfect ooey gooey texture, and a dollop of that signature cream cheese frosting. All the best parts are right there. The Cinnabon Pull-Apart is as easy to eat as it is to love. Pair it with a hot coffee or a vanilla frosty cream cold brew for that perfect breakfast sweet treat. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart today.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start June 3rd. Visit elizabethtown.kccs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Early voting in the May primary election will be available to anyone May 16th, 17th, and 18th from 8 to 4 at the Center on Main in Litchfield. Then on Election Day, May 21st, you may vote at any of the following voting centers: the Center on Main on South Main Street, the Church of Joy on Schoolhouse Road, the Old Caneyville School on East Maple Street, the Falls of Rough Fire Department on Green Farms Road, the Rock Creek Voting House on Grayson Springs Road, the Clarkson Community Center on Millerstown Street, and the Big Clifty Community Center on Cemetery Road. No matter where you live in Grayson County, you may vote at any of these voting centers between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on May 21st. Early voting is only offered May 16th, 17th, and 18th from 8 to 4 at the Center on Main.
Did you know you can vote early in Kentucky?
Yeah, I've heard that, but I prefer to vote on Election Day.
I get that, but it's nice having an option for people like me who can't make it on a Tuesday.
Anyone can still vote on May 21st, but Kentuckians can also vote early with no excuse on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday ahead of Election Day. That's May 16th, 17th, and 18th. Times and locations vary by county. Check yours at govote.ky.gov.
This message is sponsored by the Kentucky Secretary of State's Office, Kentucky Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Today is Mr. Potato Head Day. It is Honesty Day. It's Oatmeal Cookie Day. It's Hairstyle Day. And it's Bugs Bunny Day. I honestly like Bugs Bunny.
Okay.
I honestly like Dennis's hairstyle.
Well, thank you. Honestly, you're telling the truth.
It's honestly very mirror-like, so that's one of the reasons I like it so much. So, nonetheless, happy Honesty Day. Good luck practicing it all day.
Thanks. I really like this show.
Don't fall for any entrapment questions today. You'll have to violate Honesty Day, and you don't want to do that. 20 horses. Are you allowed to talk about the Derby, Dennis? I just want to make sure that
I can be on here. I just have nothing to bring to the conversation, so it's not unlike any other segment that I'm normally on.
So
this
per
is true.
usual is what
Thank
you're
you.
saying?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Do you know how many horses will be running in the Derby?
I'm going to assume 20 because you said 20 horses just a second ago.
Okay. Do you know the distance of the Derby?
No, and just to be honest, because it is Honesty Day, I just learned the Derby was this weekend because I heard,
Okay, so let's practice something.
Okay.
As a you profess to be a Kentuckian, is that correct?
I am a colonel, correct.
That's right. So you might be traveling the globe, and if someone hears that you're from Kentucky, and certainly a Kentucky colonel, the first thing they're going to say is Kentucky Fried Chicken. The second thing they're going to say is Kentucky Derby.
And then I'm going to say there are 20 horses in the Kentucky Derby.
That's not even the most important part. The most important part is the first Saturday in May.
It's the first Saturday every May.
For the last 149, and I profess it will be for the 150th.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about Derby.
I guess you had one of those that was in September. That was a little weird, but
That's true. Yeah, it moved. It moved that one year, but it has been run every year through 2 pandemics. Right? So,
okay.
I can't believe you don't know this, Dennis.
I'm sorry.
Post time.
I never
is
watch either.
5:57 Central Time on Saturday. The forecast is 79 degrees, 52% chance of rain, but that's early in the day. Last sloppy Derby we had was 2019, so it's been 5 years. Country House was the winner, but then, that was the debacle in 2019. They had the review by the stewards, and Dennis is acknowledging, like, oh, yeah, I remember it well. Yeah, the stewards, they debated for 22 minutes, and they reviewed, and then they made Country House the winner. Now, coverage begins actually on Friday on the USA Network before I'm not sure which Louisville TV stations will be carrying. Wave starts the morning, early Saturday morning at the track, and then they hand off NBC and Peacock at 1:30, and then they take it through the evening. But what I'm looking probably most forward to in Derby 150 is, one, the scale, just because 150, it's probably not going to make it to Derby 200. So 150 is big.
I probably will. I know.
Yeah, I'm speaking for myself. I was not speaking on your behalf. I typically don't. The paddock. I mean, they've spent, I think on renovations, they've spent, I think what I heard was $500 million on upgrades. Like the Turn 2 grandstand now used to be bleachers, and it's ginormous. But this new paddock, they've completely redesigned it to make it kind of the centerpiece. So during the walkover, I always, if you don't cry during the walkover in my old Kentucky home, well, you're not really a Kentucky colonel.
Ooh.
Or a Kentuckian. So it'll bring a tear. It'll bring a tear to a glass eye. Yes, you should. I can't believe you don't watch. So I'm looking forward to the paddock. And so here are the favorites. Okay. Fierceness still at 5-2. That's Todd Pletcher. Bay Colt breaking from 17. Going to be hard to win from 17, but still the favorite. Think they can do it the long way around. Sierra Leone's the early second choice at 3-1. That's a Chad Brown horse. Catching Freedom is the third choice at 8-1. The co-fourth choices are Just a Touch and Forever Young. Forever Young is one of 2 Japanese horses in the field. Dennis, you might also want to know that the Derby purse is $5 million, with 1.3 going to the winner.
Goodness gracious. Wow. That's a pretty big chunk of change.
And that's just one of about 10 races. A lot of people, you probably don't realize that the Derby's not the last race of the day.
No, I have
There,
no idea.
there are other races on the card for the day after the Derby. I think Derby's 7. So anyway, they keep pushing it later and later, which makes the late races later and later as well. But today's 5-0 Tuesday, so it's kind of Louisville's day. Then Thurby is on Thursday, then Oaks Day on Friday, and then Derby Day on Saturday.
Okay.
So how is it, Dennis, you have managed to escape Derbydom throughout your entire life?
Man, I really hate to say, but it is Honesty Day.
That's the question.
I just never have really cared to watch.
You mean that Alex didn't like count down the days and sit on the edge of the couch waiting for the Derby and watch every second of all the coverage all week?
No, my father-in-law, as a retired state trooper, I mean, he worked a lot of these back in the day, and has been to a ton of them. But nobody it just hasn't been something I grew up with. My family didn't gathered around and watch when I was little. It's just something that I've never been around. But
okay, all right. So
I'm sure it's a fun thing to watch. I'm not saying don't watch it. I'm just saying it's just not something that I've been a part of.
Well, let me ask you this. If you watch the coverage of the galas on Friday evening, it can turn into a sport.
Oh.
For instance, if you were watching coverage of the different galas, when they go to the Barnstable Brown gala, you might see on television your arch nemesis, Norman Chafins.
No.
Yes. Last year, he was the arm candy for Chris Pratt.
What? Is that true?
That's 100% true.
Now, Gracie has worked the Derby a couple years.
That doesn't count for you. That doesn't count for you.
She's seen some of this stuff that you're talking about. But is that, it's televised, this stuff that you're talking, like it's Friday night or whatever?
Yes. Yeah, and it's not for the first, this is not the first year they're doing it. It's, they did not televise the first Barnstable Brown Gala 150 years ago.
Okay.
It was not televised, but many of them have been. The TV stations bounce around from gala to gala, cutting in with their correspondence. But yes, I kid you not, I was watching Chris Pratt being interviewed at the Barnstable Brown Gala last year. I was sitting there watching, and I see someone in the background that is clearly security, looking very Secret Service-like, and I said, "That's Norman Chafins."
That's our guy.
I sent him a text. I said, "Are you at Barnstable Brown?" He said, "Yeah." So he was the security for Chris Pratt. So all these celebrities come in from around the country, and they're all assigned. They're law enforcement officers and private security from all over the Commonwealth that help in Louisville for this weekend. But yet Dennis has never watched one, so I don't know what.
So he was the guardian for the Guardians of the Galaxy.
100%. It was almost as if the galaxy was in his hands. But then I remembered back to last week, you don't like that song, He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. So we should probably move on.
You sent me a picture of it last year. I'm going to try and look through the records and see if I can find it, that we can throw it up on screen.
That is so cool.
Okay. I'm hoping that this year that Norman and Chris Pratt swap outfits, because I want to see those yellow pants on Norman.
That's awesome.
Wouldn't that be great?
Switcheroo.
I mean, he does have a background in the arts.
Sure, he's got performance art in his DNA. He
But
knows.
ballet, right?
Wow.
It's the perfect time for the technical difficulties.
Next time I'm talking all the way through it.
Panera Bread is launching a celebratory hat that's inspired by one of the most iconic menu items. The bread hat is a fascinator featuring a 3D printed replica of the Panera Bread Bowl, surrounded by vibrantly colored ostrich feathers. It looks very colorful and very festive.
Bring that up full screen for me, Sam. Let's see this.
Please,
Let's see
maybe?
this thing.
My goodness.
No, go ahead and bring it up full screen. Just as soon as I say it, hit that button. Is that a coconut on top there?
No, that's
bread
a bread
bowl.
bowl. Come on, that's the Panera Bread Bowl.
You know, I don't know that I've been to Panera.
Really?
So
Goodness. We should have just talked about Pope for an hour.
yes, That's what I'm talking about.
You don't know Derby.
I have
you
Pope
don't know
with
Brett,
Pope.
Brett
I know Pope.
Bowles, You don't know.
I know Pope.
Okay. Okay, Your Eminence. We got to get to a break. The water cooler question is coming up here on In the Know.
Homeowners, especially on the lake, have most likely experienced or will experience water erosion on their properties. There is a solution and preventative measures that can protect against this type of erosion. With the help of products and service from Scotty's Contracting and Stone, Crushed Rock Road enhancements can provide erosion control and shoreline protection. Well-designed and maintained erosion control helps ensure that today's beautiful and safe landscapes remain so tomorrow. To discuss erosion control and shoreline restoration solutions with Scotty's Contracting, call 270-259-5696.
Your choice of lifestyle directly affects your health. And while there are many complex factors surrounding your lifestyle, sometimes the simple truth is that you just need to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know you and your lifestyle so we can provide sound advice on ways to improve your overall health. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or overcome that untimely sickness, remember, your feel better starts here. At Midway Pharmacy.
The 2024-25 FAFSA is changing. Students complete the FAFSA to apply for financial aid to help pay for college. What's changing? The FAFSA is more user-friendly and more students will be eligible for aid than ever before. Because of the changes, the FAFSA may not be available until late December 2023. What's not changing? There's help. There are Kia counselors and others who are ready to help you complete the FAFSA. You're not in this alone. For more info, text MONEY to 1-800-928-8926.
Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
There's only one thing better than being a kid. Being a healthy kid. So give them the best shot at it. With no-cost health insurance from K-CHIP. Now available through Connect. Nothing could be simpler. All you need to do is visit connect.ky.gov/K-CHIP and see what benefits you and your kids qualify for. Every kid should have health insurance. And now, every kid can.
Celebrate the big horse race at the Paristown Derby Day Garden Party, presented by Woodford Reserve at Paristown on Saturday, May 4th. Wager and watch the races. Enjoy live music, cocktails, food, and more. VIP and general admission ticket options available. VIP tickets include box lunch, complimentary drinks, and private spaces. Tickets on sale now at Paristown.com. Don't miss Paristown's Derby Party for the people.
Be safe, Kentucky. Buckle up and put the phone down.
Paid with funds to the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door. SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather. We'll see much more sunshine this afternoon with highs in the 70s across the region. For tonight, mainly clear skies, temperatures falling down into the 50s. For tomorrow, sunshine, highs in the 80s, and we'll keep the sunshine and the warm weather into our Thursday as well. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Today's Did You Know is brought to you by Grayson County Tourism. Don't miss the Kentucky Headhunters coming to Logston Valley Park on June 1st. The Headhunters roll into town for a great concert in the amphitheater. And you can buy tickets. Go to visitgrayson.com and buy your tickets today. They're $30. If you wait until the gate, $10 more. So $40 at the gate. You can save money by buying advance. Go to visitgrayson.com. Then all you got to do is click on their events calendar for June 1. You'll see the Headhunters, buy your tickets. That's the easiest way. You can also get with them via Facebook, but visitgrayson.com is the easiest way. And the Kentucky Headhunters and Grayson County Tourism bring you today's Did You Know? 3 out of 4 men do not know when Mother's Day is.
Oh, wow.
3 out of 4 men do not know when Mother's Day is. Dennis, do you know when Mother's Day is annually?
Second Sunday of May.
It is. How do you not know what the first Saturday in May is if you know the second Sunday of May?
I'm just going with what's the most important.
Okay.
Mummies.
See, so you in your profession, you celebrate the second Sunday in May. You don't celebrate the first Saturday in May.
No.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you setting me up here?
We
for something?
found, we have unearthed, Sam has unearthed the cover, the video of the sheriff and Chris Pratt. If you want to look, I don't need to look at it. I've seen it before. So I think I took it, as I recall. So anyway, you can, there it is right there. So you see,
check it
the sheriff
out.
he's in the background there, but by the tent.
That's
But did you see Chris Pratt's yellow pants?
Yes.
I'm hoping that when Chris Pratt got on the aircraft to leave, it was like a Mean Joe Green, hey kid kind of thing, where he threw his yellow pants at Norman and said, "Hey kid." I think that would be neat. Here's today's water cooler question. If you've not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win. You're going to text your answer to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. Up for grabs today. We will give you a shot at tickets, One Vision of Queen at the River Park Center on May 25th. Be your chance to win. It's a $150 value. And the question is this: 23% of people do this first thing each morning. 20 each morning. Text your answer to 270-259-6000.
You broke up there. Can you say that again?
23% of people do this first thing each morning. 23% of people do this first thing each morning. Text your answer to 270-259-6000. Dennis is going to jot down his answer, and then we will move along. Annie Potts, famous Kentuckian, is saying that CBS was delusional, said it was a stupid business move to cancel young Sheldon. In a recent interview with Variety, the TV legend said she and the cast felt totally ambushed by CBS's decision to end the hit comedy after 7 seasons. She says, if a show is starting to drag or lag or have a lack of stories or whatever, then you can kind of see it coming. She says that Potts co-star Ian Armitage, who plays Sheldon Cooper, added that he wasn't entirely ready to say goodbye to the series either. The problem is, have you seen him lately? Ian Armitage is no longer young.
Mm-hmm.
He's a teenager, and he's growing taller every day, and so it's harder to pull off. It's a little bit like...
Well, and his voice is deeper than real Sheldon.
Yes, and so it becomes even harder to believe.
Kind of like the Goldbergs with the little kid that started out 10 years ago, like 6 years old in the 80s. Well, now he's 30.
Also, the latter years of Harry Potter with Daniel Radcliffe. I mean, it was like he was a grown man walking around. I'm Harry Potter. Like, oh, wait a minute, that doesn't exactly work. Peacock is raising their prices by $2 a month this summer. There's a sweet spot for all of them, and they know it. These streamers, they have done everything they can to try and set the hook in you. Is they kept it low and inexpensive. You say, oh, $12.99 a month, that's not a big deal. And then you learn, well, this is the content that I watch Peacock for. This is what I watch Hulu for. This is what I watch Netflix for. And then they start to turn the heat up going, they're going to throw a couple more dollars a month in on the pile if you want to continue to watch this. Beyonce and Blue Ivy Carter will both star in the Lion King prequel. It's called Mufasa, the Lion King, and the first trailer came out earlier this week, revealing the 12-year-old Blue Ivy Carter as another member to the star-studded cast. Is set to release December 20. Billy Eichner will play Timon. Seth Rogen will play Pumbaa. I think that's those roles are back from when they did the live-action version. Who else will be in it? Blue Ivy will be playing Kiara. Donald Glover is playing King Simba, and Beyonce will play Queen Nala. So not surprising. 2019 is when they did that live action. Sam, are you excited? You love The Lion King.
I mean, I'm not I don't know that I've ever actually seen a live action Lion King.
Okay.
I don't know.
But you like the animated version.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, I don't know that I'm necessarily #1 fan in the world, but yeah, no, it's a good movie.
I thought it was one of the top of your Disney likes. So
I mean it's really good. I'm not like gonna go see this in the theaters or anything. Not that big of a fan.
Dennis, he kind of sounds like he's trying to play it cool.
I think he's already got his tickets.
I mean, rocking, rolling, and whatnot. Austin Powers, Mike Myers teases a potential fourth movie.
Oh my goodness!
Can neither confirm nor deny. $1 million. And Morgan Wallen and Post Malone have debuted a new song called "I Had Some Help" during their Stagecoach performance. This Post Malone fella gets around because he goes from his new duet with Taylor Swift, and now he's duetting with Morgan Wallen. I wonder who was more professional to work with, Taylor Swift or Morgan Wallen. It'd be hard to decide who would it completely would be. Just flip a coin and decide. We got to get to a break. We'll find out who wins the water cooler question. We'll have Point to Ponder, Chart Toppers, Pearl of Wisdom, and more. I have the perfect point to ponder for Yukon Cornelius. You won't want to miss it. Coming up here on In the Know.
When a good friend of mine announced that his daughter was getting married, I congratulated him. He then told me that he was not enthusiastic about her decision. I can't stand him, he said. My daughter is in love with a guy that has no job, no ambition, and no plans to change anytime soon. What should I do about it? Maybe you're asking yourself the same question as my friend. Your child is making decisions that you don't approve of, and you're wondering, how should I respond? The main thing to remember is that loving your adult son or daughter means letting go. Your active years of parenting are over. Respect your child's freedom, even when they see the world differently than you do. And I know a hands-off approach is easy when they're making questionable decisions, but in the long run, it's best for them. Your child can only thrive if they learn how to stumble forward and grow through adversity, just like you did. Above all, don't allow disappointment to ruin your relationship with your child. You may win an argument, but you'll lose far more. Respect their freedom. Give them the room that they need. The more they feel free to step away from your influence, the more willing they'll be to seek you out for advice in the future. You've raised your children to make wise choices. You've taught them to center their lives on good values. Now let them go and give them the space to find their way along the path of life. To help your family thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
One Vision of Queen, featuring Mark Martell, is coming to River Park Center on Saturday, May 25th at 7 p.m. Hear the music of the legendary Freddie Mercury and Queen, brought to life in this spectacular tribute show. One Vision of Queen. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and at the River Park Center box office.
MB's Point to Ponder for today is perfectly positioned to find the answer from one Yukon Cornelius. Oh boy. So your fingers have fingertips, but your toes don't have toe tips. But you can tiptoe, but you can't fingertip. You can't finger toe. Can't tip finger. So how do you account for that?
No comment.
Nothing. Oh, wait, Sam. That's great. Good job. No comment. I'm with Sam on this one. pretty strong. No comment.
There has to be an explanation. Why do we not call them toe tips? We got fingertips, and you can tiptoe.
That's
but
how
you
Fred
don't have
Flintstone goes bowling.
But you don't have toe tips.
With the tippy toes.
It seems.
I think it's 2024. Can't we have anything we want? Why can't I have a finger toe?
You associate with being.
I'm gonna pretend I know what he said right there.
23% of people do this first thing every morning. I don't know what the answer was about penguins. Did you see that one?
Yes,
there
I
was,
did.
There was one about, and I thought, I don't understand that one. There were several others, and I don't know. Dennis, what did you write down?
Check the weather.
Check the weather. Okay. Probably higher than 23. Sam, did you have any?
Drink a cup of coffee.
Drink a cup of coffee.
Because you said that's the
right.
first thing you do, right?
No, I start the coffee. Yeah, the coffee that's before I pick up my devices or anything. I go and do the coffee. Start the Keurig. Check. The correct answer is check horoscope.
Oh.
So I certainly never do that and won't be doing that. I'm sure it's something Dennis does daily, without a doubt.
I mean,
oh sure.
I don't.
Yeah. Sam, no comment. Quick, no comment.
Dennis, anything big happening at First Baptist we need to know about? I assume attendance was way down last week as retribution for the week before, but probably we're back to normal level this week. So anything happening we need to know
whenever
about?
I preach, the offering's way down, and then the next week they make a statement by boycotting just coming all together.
The offering is down, but the number of comment cards are way up.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
all right.
offering plates are filled with anonymous comment cards and signed "Your loving deacon." No, we are celebrating at our church this year, May 19th. We are celebrating our 220th anniversary, and we've been around since 1804. And things are coming together for a special service that day. So, like all Sundays, everybody's invited to come join us at 10 a.m. at 106 East Walnut. Just happy to have anybody that's willing to come that doesn't have a church home already.
Today's highlight, Sam, did we have a winner? Did anyone say
No.
horoscope?
No,
Okay.
it didn't appear that anybody said horoscope.
Today's highlight in history, you were questioning the Penguins too, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I did. It was something I thought. Did I not just get that? Like,
And I'm
there was
wondering,
something I'm missing?
maybe let the dogs out? Maybe that's what they meant? Maybe they call penguins
okay.
dogs?
Sure. Today's highlight in history, this day in 1975, the Vietnam War ended as the South Vietnamese capital of Saigon fell to communist forces. Louisiana became the 18th state of the Union this day in 1812. Naomi Judd died this day 2 years ago.
Oh.
Willie Nelson is 91 today. He kind of celebrates two birthdays. His family thinks he was born on the 29th. His birth certificate says the 30th, so I guess it's just Willie's way of stretching it into a two-day holiday. Isaiah Thomas is 63 today. Akon is 52. Johnny Galecki is 49. Kirsten Dunst is 42. Travis Scott is 33. Gone but not forgotten, Johnny Horton was born this date in 1925, and Cloris Leachman was born this date in 1926. Here come your chart toppers for today. Emmy Russell, who is Loretta Lynn's granddaughter, actually did Coal Miner's Daughter last night. So said it was pretty moving. And good to see you.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, we are not given a good life or a bad life. We're given a life. It's up to us to make it good or bad. We are given a life. It's up to us to make it good or bad. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Dennis Cook, for Sam Gormley, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the